language is the first thing, is shifting that focus from ourselves to others. My 5 steps to forging trust, which great leaders do. First, an overarching thing you need to be able to do as a leader, and that is to demonstrate that you value other people and that you want to affiliate with other people. In other words, build a tribe, because that creates psychological comfort and safety, because human beings are exceptionally predictable. We're all seeking to be psychologically comfortable in everything that we do. And the leader that produces that psychological comfort is who they're going to follow. And we do that by using our language. Language is the first thing, is shifting that focus from ourselves to others. And so these are the 4 pillars of great language to make sure that the other person is valued, feels affiliated, and it gets their brain rewarding them for engaging with you. And that is, number 1, seek their thoughts and opinions instead of sharing yours. 2, talk in terms of their priorities, challenges, and pain points instead of yours, because who cares about yours? 3, validate them non-judgmentally. Seek to understand them and have curiosity about them and their point of view from their optic, their perspective. That is empathy. And finally, 3, empower people with choices. We don't give people choice unless we value them and we want to affiliate with them. And so when you build one of those 4 things, and don't have to have all 4, at least one element into everything you say, written, spoken, body language, you name it, the entire shift goes from you to them. So that's an overarching thing to make sure every time you're communicating, you're utilizing one of those 4 things. In other words, if you're trying to give someone your point of view and, hey, here's what you really need to do is this, instead of framing it like that, instead of stating it like that, ask them, hey, what do you think about doing it this way? Because now you're seeking a thought and opinion. It's that slight little shift of language makes all the difference in the world, because that's saying, hey, you have an opinion that I value, instead of saying, hey, my opinion matters more than yours. So that's the overarching. Now, the second thing is, let's execute the 5 steps of the code of trust. First one is identifying your why, and then your what and your how. The why is that ends goal, that end state you're trying to achieve. For me in the FBI was protect national security, United States, and our NATO allies. That is the overarching why. The what and the how are, I need to recruit human sources, I need to recruit spies, I need to conduct interviews for a company and a business. It's, I gave it because we had to run up before this, Jerry. I'll use this. SpaceX. We'll use SpaceX. Put Elon Musk, whatever you think about him aside, good positive. SpaceX, that's an organization. Their big why. It's not to go to the moon. It's not to create Dragon capsules. It's not to make the Falcon Heavy rocket. It is to colonize the solar system to save the human race. That is the why. What and how? Well, we need to make rockets. We need to make capsules. We need to hire engineers. That's the what and how. So first step of any leader is to understand the destination, and then the micro, how we get there. Second step is, part of that first is, what relationships do we need to have to make that happen? Because now we understand that we can't do this alone. It takes a team. It takes a tribe. We have to understand the people in our lives we need to have to make that happen. Now, the second step in the code of trust, out of all those individuals that you've now identified that are tied to the what and the how and the why, what are their priorities, challenges, and pain points? Because remember, if you're not going to communicate in terms of those priorities, challenges, and pain points, you're wasting your breath. No one is really paying attention to things you're saying. So you need to understand those priorities, challenges, and pain points, those individuals that are tied to the what and the how and the why. That's step 2. Step 3, what is their context of the world? How do they see life through their optic, their generation, their ethnicity, their gender, their orientation, where they grew up, the demographic, the social status, economic status? All of these things play into how they see the optic, because if you're not communicating using language that they can affiliate with, that they understand, again, you're wasting your breath. And then 4, going to use really effective, strong language. And that's where we're going to incorporate those 4 pillars of effective communication, seeking their thoughts and opinions, talk in terms of their priorities, validation, and power with choices. And finally, step 5, putting it all together and crafting a beautiful, sincere, organic, because it's all about them, dialogue and interaction to make it about them. That's it. Those are the 5 steps. Oh, overarching all that, suspend your ego and vanity. You are not doing this for them, because you must honor the 3 pillars of leadership, which is number 1, leaders accomplish goals, missions, and priorities in terms of the why. 2, they create a safe environment, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, and physically, for the people that are working with them, because without that feeling of safety, no one's going to innovate and solve problems. And 3, you are a resource for the success and prosperity of others without expectation of reciprocity. You give willingly in abundance, because that is what the other person needs, wants, and deserves from you. There you go. That's the whole system right there.